If anyone had told me that my entire emotional life would unravel in front of a coffee machine, I would have assumed caffeine poisoning, not romance. Yet here I am, sitting on my couch, still wearing my work apron, still smelling like steamed milk and disappointment, writing this entry like some tragic sitcom character. Name: Grace Carter. Occupation: barista at Bean and Gone Cafe. Age: 29 and 3/4. The 3/4 matters emotionally. Current emotional status: caffeinated confusion. Primary problem: a man named Harrison Reed. Let me explain. At 8:02 a.m., exactly 2 minutes after I opened the shop, he walked in. Tall, soft-smiled, hair like it lived in a shampoo commercial. He wore a dark blue coat and worry around his eyes. The good kind of worry. The kind that makes you want to ask, "Are you okay?" But also, "Can I sit you down and feed you soup?" He stepped up to the counter and said, "Hi, could I get a latte? Extra foam, and, maybe a smile. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud." I laughed. He laughed. We both got embarrassed. Classic romance behavior, according to every bad Netflix movie. I made his latte. He took a sip. He closed his eyes like he was listening to classical music through his tongue. I don't think anyone has ever reacted to anything I made with that level of spiritual appreciation. Not even the time I accidentally invented a cinnamon chocolate vanilla hybrid drink. My boss called it a health code violation, but customers called it interesting. He said, "This is perfect." And then I said, "Thanks, sir." The sleeves. The coffee sleeves. Great cardboard. Very thick. He tilted his head, smiled, and left. I spent the rest of the day steaming milk while replaying the conversation in my head like a deranged editor seeking romantic clues. I didn't see him yesterday. I tried not to care. I failed like a champion. Today he arrived again. Same coat. Same tired eyes. Same gentle smile. "Rough week?" I asked. He nodded. "Just life," he said. "But I like stopping here. It feels lighter." If anyone ever says your coffee shop makes life lighter, you are legally required to fall in love. I checked. It's in the emotional code of conduct. He sat in the corner booth. He worked on his laptop. I pretended to wipe the same countertop for 25 minutes just so I could glance at him. When he eventually left, he paused. "I'm Harrison, by the way." "Grace," I said. "Of course," he said, as if my name explained something. I am now Googling average number of lattes before a man proposes. No results. The universe can be cruel. I found out today that Harrison is a writer. Not a boring writer. A real one. The kind who scribbles in notebooks and stares into space like the air is whispering plot twists. Also, he has dimples. I have no defense against dimples. None. He sat down at the counter this time. "How's your week been?" he asked. "Oh, thrilling," I said. "A woman yelled at me yesterday because her latte had micro foam instead of macro foam. I still don't know what macro foam is." He laughed, a real laugh, warm and delicate. "You deserve an award," he said. "For patience." For a second, I thought he meant something deeper. Something like, "You deserve good love, Grace." But then he added, "Especially with foam people." So not quite poetic, but close enough. I am a clown. A tragic clown. Today, I attempted to flirt. I thought it would go smoothly. I thought, "Grace, you can handle this." People flirt all the time without burning anything. False. Harrison came in looking even more exhausted than usual. Dark circles, wrinkled shirt, hair slightly wild. I asked, "Long day?" "Long month," he said. So I leaned forward and said, "Well, if you ever need to talk. I'm great at listening. I'm like the human version of an emotional sponge." He blinked. "Like, soaking people's sadness." Maybe a towel. A supportive towel. A dry towel. Not a wet one. He put up a hand. "It's okay. I get it," he said, smiling. And then I knocked a cup off the counter. It shattered. Customers stared. My boss sighed the sigh of someone reconsidering every life choice. Yet Harrison just said, "Careful, Grace," in the softest voice. And I think I melted faster than the whipped cream on our hot cocoa. Something is wrong with Harrison. He ordered tea today. Tea. A man who always orders lattes suddenly drinking tea is like a golden retriever suddenly whispering in Latin. It means something is off. I asked if he was okay. He shrugged. "Just tired." But it wasn't just tired. His smile didn't reach his eyes. His hands kept trembling slightly. He stared out the window like he was waiting for bad news to show up wearing a trench coat. I don't know why I care this much. I don't know why he feels like a secret I want to protect. But I want to help. Even though I'm just a barista and he's just a customer. Is that how love starts? With foam, tea, and fear. I finally asked him, "What's going on, Harrison? You look like someone pressed fast forward on your stress." He sighed, looked down. Then at me. My mom's sick, he said quietly. Oh, there are moments in life when a person's heart becomes visible, vulnerable, trembling like a candle flame. And you can either look away or wrap your hands around that flame to protect it. I wanted to wrap my whole self around him. He told me about treatments, hospital visits, bills stacking like unkind reminders, how he hasn't been sleeping, how writing feels pointless right now. I come here, he said, because it's one of the only places I still feel normal. I didn't know what to say. So I stepped around the counter, gave him a soft hug, quick and careful. He froze for half a second and then held on like he was trying not to fall. When he left, he whispered, "Thank you, Grace." I cried in the supply closet. We've somehow become friends. Real ones. He sits at the counter every day now. Tells me about his mom, his writing, his fears. I tell him about my job, my loneliness, how I sometimes imagine switching lives with my cat because she has fewer responsibilities. He laughed at that for 2 full minutes. Sometimes, his hand brushes mine when I give him his drink. And something in me lights up. Something dangerous. Something beautiful. Something I know I shouldn't name. Today, he brought me a flower. A daisy. Not roses. Not tulips. A daisy. Simple. Honest. Cheerful. The kind of flower that doesn't try too hard. Thought you might like this, he said. I stared at it like I had never seen plant life before. Why? I whispered. Because you keep making my days better, he said. And I figured I should return the favor. Then he blushed. Then I died. Or nearly. I pressed the daisy in my notebook so it can live forever like a tiny witness to my emotional downfall. His mom is getting worse. He told me with tears caught at the corner of his eyes. He is trying so hard to stay strong, and it breaks me. Truly breaks me. I hugged him again. Longer this time. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe boundaries matter. Maybe I'm too attached. But when someone is drowning, and you're the nearest hand, you reach. He whispered into my hair. Grace, I don't know what I'd do without you. And that was it. That was the moment I realized. I love him. And that terrifies me. He didn't come in today. I kept glancing at the door. Every time the bell rang, my heart jumped. Nothing. I told myself, stop being dramatic, Grace. He probably overslept, but my chest felt tight. I closed the shop thinking about him. Worrying about him. I hate how much I care. I love how much I care. I don't know whether this is bravery or foolishness. He finally came, but not for coffee. He came to tell me he's leaving the city temporarily. His mother needs full-time care. He's going to stay with her. I nodded, because that's what strong, supportive people do. Inside, I shattered. He said, I'll miss this place. Then corrected himself softly. I'll miss you. I swallowed hard. When will you be back? I asked. He shook his head. I don't know. The words hung between us like heavy fog. I hugged him goodbye. He held me longer than I expected, as if he didn't want to let go. When he finally pulled back, his fingers brushed my cheek, almost a caress, almost a question. Take care of yourself, Grace, he whispered. And then he walked away. The bell above the door jingled like a cruel joke. Life feels quieter without him. Like the world turned down its brightness. Like the coffee machine sighs more often. I check my phone constantly even though he never asked for my number. Why didn't I give it? Why didn't he? Maybe he didn't want that kind of connection. Maybe he didn't want me that way. I shouldn't feel this hurt. But feelings don't follow rules. They run wild like stray cats. I miss him. Terribly. A letter came. From Harrison. A real letter. Paper. Ink. His handwriting messy and emotional. He wrote about caring for his mom. How she's having good days and bad days. How he misses the cafe. How he misses talking to me. Then, near the end, he wrote, some people come into your life and make ordinary days feel extraordinary. You did that for me, Grace. I hope you know that. I cried over those lines for 15 minutes. I pressed the letter next to the daisy in my notebook. His mother passed away. He wrote again. The grief in his words felt like a physical weight. He said he's staying home for a while, helping sort out everything. He doesn't know when he'll return. I sent him a reply. It took me 3 hours to write 2 paragraphs because I didn't want to say something stupid like, I'm sorry your mother passed away. Also, I think I love you. Sorry if this is bad timing. I settled for, you're not alone. Even far away, I'm here. It felt honest. Maybe too honest. He hasn't written back in weeks. Maybe my message scared him. Maybe grief swallowed him whole. Maybe I was just a kind barista he liked talking to, nothing more. I keep replaying everything. Every smile, every touch, every soft word, and I wonder if I imagined it all. Love can make fools out of anyone. Even people who count foam bubbles for a living. Today, something strange happened. A customer asked me, "Are you Grace?" I said yes. He handed me an envelope. "He told me to give you this," the man said before leaving. My heart almost escaped my body. I opened it with trembling hands. Inside was a letter, and a plane ticket. The letter read, "Grace, I'm sorry for the silence. Grief took more of my strength than I expected. But thinking of you gave me a reason to keep going. I don't know what the future looks like. I don't know if I'm ready for anything big. But I know I want to see you. If you want to see me too, come. I'll be waiting. Harrison." I sat on the floor, crying, laughing, crying again. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I know what my heart wants. I took the flight. I wore my nicest sweater, the one that hides my insecurities. I carried the daisy, now fragile and pressed, like a quiet witness. When I reached the small town airport, my stomach twisted with nerves. What if he changed his mind? What if he realized kindness wasn't love? What if this ends in heartbreak? Then I saw him, standing near the exit, hands in pockets, eyes tired but warm, smiling that soft, shy smile that always felt like home. He walked toward me slowly, like he wasn't sure I was real. "Grace," he said softly. "Harrison," I whispered. For a moment, we just stared. Then he stepped forward and hugged me. Not the quick kind, not the polite kind, but the kind that feels like a long exhale after months of holding your breath. I felt the weight of everything, his loss, my longing, our shared quiet sadness, melting into the warmth of his arms. We didn't kiss. We didn't make grand speeches. We just held each other. And in that embrace, something shifted. Something healed. Something began. I've been visiting him for 2 weeks now. We walk a lot, talk a lot, sit in silence a lot. He's grieving, truly grieving, and love cannot rush grief. So I stay beside him. Quietly, gently, hopefully. One day, while sitting on his porch, he whispered, "Thank you for not walking away." I said, "I'm here because I want to be." He squeezed my hand. No promises, no future plans, just presence. And sometimes, presence is enough. Time passes strangely here. Slow, honest, healing. We cook dinner together. He writes again, just a little. I help him pack his mother's things. Some nights he cries. Some nights he laughs. And I am learning that love, real love, isn't always fireworks. Sometimes it's showing up. Sometimes it's sacrifice. Sometimes it's letting someone else rest against your heart until they can stand again. I don't know what we are yet. But whatever this is, it matters. Today, he told me he wants to return to the city soon. "I'm ready to start living again," he said. My heart fluttered and ached all at once. Because I don't know if living again includes me. He must have sensed my panic because he took my hand gently. "Grace," he said, "you've been my light in a very dark season. I don't know what comes next. I don't want to rush anything. But I'd like the chance to find out. With you." Tears slid down my cheeks before I could stop them. He wiped one gently with his thumb. And for the first time, it felt like hope didn't hurt. "We're returning to the city together next week. Not as lovers, not as anything defined, just two people who walked through sadness and found each other on the other side." He said, "Let's take this slow." And I said, "Okay. Maybe love doesn't need labels yet. Maybe love grows best when it isn't pressured to bloom. All I know is that something is unfolding between us. Something tender, something steady, something worth waiting for." We're back. He visits the cafe again. Orders a latte, extra foam. Sits in his old spot. Sometimes he stays after closing, and we talk about nothing and everything. Sometimes we just sit quietly, letting the warmth between us fill the space. No kiss yet, no confessions, no dramatic milestones, just closeness, just comfort, just two hearts learning how to beat again. Tonight something happened. The shop was empty. The world was quiet, and Harrison stood beside me as I cleaned the espresso machine. He said my name softly. I looked up. His eyes were gentle, hopeful, healing. He cupped my face, hesitating, giving me room to pull away. I didn't, and he kissed me, slow, careful, full of everything we'd carried and everything we were finally ready to give. When we broke apart, he whispered, "Grace, I think we're finally ready." I didn't say anything. I just held him, because sometimes the power of embrace speaks louder than words. Love didn't fix our lives. Love didn't erase our scars. Love didn't make everything easy. But love, real, quiet, imperfect love, gave us the courage to keep going. Some nights are still heavy for him. Some days are still lonely for me. But now we face them side by side. We're not a fairy tale. We're not a perfect story. We're just two people who met on the latte line and chose to hold on. And maybe that's what astonishing love really is. Not grand gestures, not flawless happiness, but the gentle decision to stay. Even when staying is hard. Even when life is messy. Even when the world feels somber. Love is the embrace that keeps you standing. The sacrifice that softens your heart. The pain that teaches. The tenderness that heals. And as I close this diary, I realize something. Our story isn't tragic, or hopeful, or even fully complete. It is bittersweet, and it is beautiful.